Another tutorial. Hope you are all doing well. And in this tutorial I will be creating an entirely brand new and movie project in which we will be using this API, okay, the real API from the movie DB. Okay, so they are going to this API will be giving you methods for our movie, TV actors and images API, which are pretty much realistic API, which is pretty much also free for you to use. Okay, so you don't have to pay anything, so you just need to go and register and get the API and just start using the API. Right, so I will be implementing this TMDB API and creating an application, a very cool amazing movie application. So I hope that so you guys will follow me through the end of this tutorial, because I will be dividing this tutorial into different sections, but entirely my motivation is to create an entire running application, and I will be releasing this application also in my Play Store account. Okay, so I will be going through all the entire process. I will be developing this application entirely in coroutine and flow, which is some advanced concept for doing asynchronous programming, because obviously we are making API calls, right? Okay, so without wasting any time, let's go and create the project. Okay, entirely from the scratch. So what I do is, like, I have just gone and what I have done is I have just created a new project. Okay, so the new project, I have selected my phone project. Okay, and I've selected my application name and everything, so it is called Movi. So you just go through it and finish it. Okay, you select your language to Kotlin and everything. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so let me run. It's a very empty activity. Okay, it doesn't have any special thing inside there, inside the application. You will see it in a while. Okay, it's a very simple movie app with a simple hello world text. Okay, so now we will be slowly and slowly writing each and every code and creating this application. But before that, I would like to also give you some background of what is coroutine and everything. So I will be also actually explaining you through each and every concepts in a very easy manner. Okay, so we'll be going it slowly. We want to understand it in a better way, and we will like to achieve some goals, right? Our goals is to understand and implement and create a product, right? So this is our motivation. But before, let's go and understand yeah, what is coroutines and flow, right? So we will not only be using coroutines and flow, we'll be using also a different Android architecture components that we have used, like view models, like live data as a data flow, right? But what is coroutine actually? Coroutines are libraries used for asynchronous operation, right? So as you know, that live data was used for our data flow, whereas instead of live data we'll be using flows, right? Okay, which is some advanced concept. Okay, and coroutines were added in Kotlin 1.3 to manage background tasks such as making network calls and accessing files or database, right? So Kotlin coroutines are Google's official recommendation for asynchronous programming on Android. So there are Jetpack libraries like Lifecycle, Work Manager, Room now also in all supports coroutines. Okay, so every application that is right now written in Android are so like they use coroutines. Okay, so with coroutines you can write your code in a sequential way. That's the benefit of it, and the long running task can be made into a suspending function, which when called can pause the thread without blocking it. So when the suspending function is done, the current thread will resume the execution. So this will make your code easier to read and debug, right? So to make the function as a suspending function, you just it's very easy. You just need to add the suspend function keyword to it, right? So it's pretty easy. So guys, yeah, let me just give you some simple examples, like Let me create a simple interface called uh, not an interface, right? A simple class called but I need to make it inside the, okay, let me create a repository. Okay, so let me create a package called repository, and in this package I'm gonna create a class called movie repository. Okay, so I'm gonna add this here. Okay, and obviously, as I told you, to create a suspending function is pretty easier, right? So you just need to create, for example, I'm just giving suspend function get movies, right? And it's gonna return a, like, for example, let me return its unit for the moment. But this is pretty easy, like, just defining a suspending function with the suspending keyword. Okay, so suspending function can only be used in other suspending function or from a coroutine. Okay, so coroutines have a context which includes the coroutine dispatcher. So dispatchers specify what thread the coroutine will use. So there are three kind of dispatchers that you can use, like some coroutine dispatchers. Routine dispatchers are, one, it can have like a dispatcher patchers main dispatcher. Okay, used to run on main okay, android's main thread. And you have dispatchers.io. okay, this is used for network file or database operations. And you can also have dispatchers, actually it's per dispatchers. Okay, so you can also have a default dispatchers, which is used for CPU intensive work. Okay, so these are the different dispatchers we can use. Okay, so context, you can use dispatchers.io main default, as you can see here. And so in my in this tutorial, okay, this is the first part of the tutorial. What we are gonna do is we're gonna create the coroutines to create this movie application. Okay, so how do we create coroutines? You can create coroutines with the async and launch keyword, right? So like creating coroutines, you can main scope async. Yeah, so here you have created a coroutine scope, right? So you can also use launch keyword, right? Main scope dot launch. You see it's inside the coroutine scope. So from here you can just run any coroutine suspending functions, right? So so actually you can also create your own coroutine scope, right? Like we can also create our own coroutine scope, like scope my scope coroutine scope with dispatchers dot io. Okay, so here is my scope, and I can just work with my scope, like my scope dot launch, or my scope dot cancel, cancel it. So yeah, you can do some multiple things. A view model also has a default coroutine scope for creating coroutines, like a view model scope. Okay, so that's for the view model. It also has a view model Yeah, view model. Okay, so we just need to add the view model library here because we have not added the necessary libraries. Okay, so guys, let's go to my build.gradle. Okay, obviously for my of my application. So what I have is, obviously I have missing dependencies here, right? So I'm gonna add all the dependencies. First, the dependencies for my obviously view model and li live data, right? So view model implementation. Okay, so under architecture components, we're going to use the first component that's essential is view model. View model, it's life cycle view model. Okay, so this is my first the dependency. Then I'm going to use live data. Okay, we'll be using live data for the moment, and then we'll be slowly upgrading it to the flows, right? So let me also import my live data. Live data. Okay, obviously it's also a it's part of a life cycle library, right? So okay, we have view model, we have live data. We can also now start adding coroutines. So implementation, let's add the coroutines here. Okay, so it's like coroutine, co routines, coroutines. Okay, but I'm not getting here, so let's go step by step. org dot jetbrains dot kotlin x kotlin x dot slash co no dash co routines dash core 1.6.4. Okay, so we also need coroutines of Android. Okay, and let's sync it now. So we have added our three important libraries, that is view model, live data, and coroutines. Okay, seems like everything is working pretty fine. I mean, like the dependencies are integrated, and okay, so yeah guys, so let's start building the application. So step by step, what's the first step is, obviously you are gonna use this API, right? So to use this API, you're gonna make a calls over the internet. You're gonna make different requests and call. So obviously you need an internet permission. So you go, first thing is manifest, and give your internet permission. Yes, internet permission, right? Okay, so this is my first step. Now we have added the necessary dependencies, right? So what next is, the first thing is we're gonna implement our first movie, that is our other details favorite. Let me see. Not favorite is favorite movie. Let's see. Account favorite movie. Okay, watch list. Rated TV, rated movies. People list, TV list, movie list. Okay. Movie changes. Some companies details, credits, movie. Discover movie. Okay, so find guesses and rated movie, rated TV keywords list and movie clear. Okay, we will be actually getting the popular movies. Okay, list of movies ordered by popularity. Okay, so we'll be getting our first task will be get the popular movies. So we will create our first thing is a package which is called API package, where we are gonna add our first our API service for the movie, right? Movie API service, right? This service class is obviously not a class but interface, which consists of the method that we are gonna call. Obviously we're gonna use this get. Okay, we don't have get, and obviously we don't have this get because we have to add the necessary libraries, right? Obviously the first library that we have to add is retrofit and the retrofit converters, right? So let me implement obviously for making calls. Calls means making your API calls. We need a library, right? So we're gonna use retrofit for making API calls. Retrofit, but for that square up retrofit to retrofit to uh, 2.9.0. okay. We also have a retrofit to converter Mosi. So we're gonna use our Mosi converter here. Alright guys, obviously we also have to sync now and check if everything is, yeah, we have now the necessary methods, retrofit HTTP methods, like, okay. So we're gonna use this get method to call our movie movie popular. Okay, we're gonna get popular movies, popular movies, okay, which will obviously has a query. We're gonna pass our API key here. Our API key will be type string, right? To get your API key, guys, you just have to register in this website, okay, TMDB website, the movie database .org website. So it's pretty simple. You don't have to pay anything. You just need to register and request for your API key, right? That's pretty simple. Okay, so what's gonna return is it's gonna return popular. Okay, first thing is, let's go it step by step by understanding. We're gonna get the popular movie, right? And now playing. Let's go and try it. Okay, we don't have the necessary authorization. But what it's gonna respond, it is obviously gonna respond. Okay, so this is our call, right? But obviously we also need to create first our models, right? So our data models, right? So let's go and create my another package called model. Okay, and our model class will be, obviously we are creating a movie, right? So we will create a class, data class called movie. Okay, so our movie data class, what is has, it has a lot of interesting uh, attributes, like like these are the attributes. Backdrop, okay, id, we have json field, json name, json. First let me import it. It's a name, original language, original language. Okay, so these are just the model classes, right guys? So you will be knowing this once you have your API key. You know, just need to pass your API key and just try it, you know, and you'll get how it is gonna respond, right? PSP Python, you know. Here we have JSON. So you'll get after you paste your you can try it and you will get your necessary response, right? I have already done it actually, so just follow me guys, but I cannot share my API key with you guys, that's why I'm not showing it here there. So these are the fields actually what it's gonna respond. Okay, so we'll go step by step, so just believe on me and we'll be arriving to the final result. Original title, original title, string. Okay, so this will be it. We also have other interesting concept like so this is our, it's pretty simple guys, you just don't need to think more. We just have the necessary our movie model, right? So this is our model, and our response model response will be for popular movie will be like popular movie response. Okay, so this popular movie response will obviously consist of obviously our list of movies, first the page also, and also we have our results. That's a list of movie, right? Okay, so we have the list of movies. Obviously now it has to return the list of movies, right? So not the list of movies but the popular movie response, which is obviously returning the list of movies. Okay, so this is our in this tutorial I'm gonna just make this API call to get the popular movies, and I'm gonna update the view. Okay, so this is the first part where I will be also explaining how we will be using our core, be creating coroutines. Okay, after this we're gonna create our update our repository. So our repository will have okay, so our movie repository will have obviously it's gonna import like its constructor parameter is like a movie service, PS service, then it has a private val movie live data. Obviously this live data we will just upgrade it to flow in the coming tutorial. So mutable live data list movie. Okay, so no, it's like it's not that movie. It's this movie actually, guys. Okay, so we also have a private val error live data, live immutable live data with the simple string when there is error. Okay, so we will have a movies data list of a movie live data. Okay, when you want to get that movie list, and when you want to get the error, you just need the error live data, right? What else now? So we okay, let me just close this for the moment, right? So I will be now, this was just for the understanding. So actually our movie repository will be suspend function which fetches the movies. Okay, and we will try to fetch the movies now. So how will we try to fetch the movies? First we use our try catch block. So popular movies movie service, movie API service, get popular movies. You pass your API key. Your API key will be API key, movie key constants API key. Okay, once you register, you will get your API key. So I strongly suggest to you use your personal API key, live data, and you post the value with the popular movies results, right? And then you catch the exception. Error live data, sorry guys, and post value, and error has message. All right guys, so this is it. And what else? So so after we have this movies, after we have defined our necessary repositories, obviously we also need to create our movie application. Okay, movie application. Okay, I just want to make it okay, let me change it to okay, let me refactor, rename to movie man, so because it just suits to our application name. Okay, response will be also refactored to okay, this is it guys. Okay, yeah, everything is working fine. Looks cool. Okay, so what next guys? So we have our application class, right? Obviously we need to extend to our application super class, then on create you have to obviously create the instance of our retrofit retrofit dot first import builder base URL. Okay, what is our base URL? Okay, so this is my base URL actually, guys. You see, all the way from here to here. This is the normal way of requesting it, so let me copy it here, let me get it here. Okay, the base URL what we have is gonna be Ctrl C copy. This is our base URL, and the converter factory. Then we are gonna use the Movi converter. It's our Movi converter factory, right? Create. Then we just need to build our retrofit, and then the second step is like our Movi API service to create our Movi API service class, the instance of Movi API service. Then your okay, not only this, we also need to have our obviously we need our dependencies, right? So the most important dependency we have is our Movi repository, these dependencies. Okay, so this Movi repository, we are doing a manual dependency injection here, but soon we will also be using our necessary dependency injection frameworks. Yeah, it will come step by step. Okay, so let's focus on one concept at the moment. So our concept here is to understand coroutines. Okay, so this is our initial setup for Movi application, right? Then so now let's go and create our view model, where we will be using our coroutine scope to launch the respective API, right? So let me go and create my package called view model. Okay, here I'm going to create a Movi view model, Movi view model. This class will be obviously extending a view model class, and it will obviously have the dependency that we are passing it manually, Movi repository. Okay, so this Movi repository will be using it to make the call, right? So in it first, at first launch we will fetch so we'll have to fetch and do something. So let me create my function that fetch the popular movies, right? So this is my fetching section. So I'm gonna use my coroutine scope. As you can see, it's called view model scope, to launch using my dispatcher, that is dispatchers.io. okay, because it's an input output operation, right? Then you fetch the movies, right? So here we are gonna at init we will just fetch the movies, and after you fetch the movies, obviously you will have to popular movies live data list of movie, get your movie repository. You have the movies, you have our error, right? It's live data of type string, your movie repository, you get the error, right? So this is it, guys. And as you can see here, we are just simply using the coroutines here. It's so simple. It's like it's so like I don't know how to explain it in the right term. It's so like step by step, in the sense like you don't need to have a lot of boilerplate codes. It reduces a lot of boilerplate codes, and it helps you read the code much more simpler, and it helps also to debug. So yeah, that's why we are using coroutines, because it's very simplistic, it's sequential, so you can read the code in a nice manner. And yeah, it's one of the cool concept for your clean coding, clean coding. So it's so sequential, so you can understand the code much easier. You can have also breakpoints and debug them, right? So it's much more easier to, and it's much more clean. Okay, writing codes application with coroutines. So what next, guys? So we are still in our view model, right? So after the view model, obviously, so now we have to update the view, because view model will pass the data using live data flow, and then we will this will be used by our main activity to like our movie activity. Here we have our main activity. So our main activity will pretty much update our UI. So let's go and create our main activity. But obviously I want to first create the UI, right? So let me go and just create the UI for my main activity. So it will be it's a constraint layout. So it will be consisting of pretty simple recycle view with match parent and we close it. Okay, what next? Okay, layout manager will be our grid layout manager. So we'll be displaying a grid, bottom of parent. We'll having string top to top of parent. Then we will also have our span count of 2 in our grid layout. What next? Obviously we need our ID to get the reference of this recycle view, that is movie recycle view. And voila, guys. Yeah, but I also want to add my binders, right? Obviously. Okay, so let me where's my binders? Okay, where is my depend like Gradle, label Gradle. Here I just need my this is my Android section with build features. Okay, we'll have data din true. And let me see if it's gonna work. Okay, we're gonna use the data binding. Let me go to my main activity. Let me just clean my project, and let me change the private binding activity main binding. Yeah, it's working fine. So we'll have our binding will be activity inflate, activity main binding inflate, layout inflator. Then I just need to pass the root of my binding, and voila guys, so we have just set up our data binding here. And what next? Yeah, our like UI for the activity is ready, but obviously it's a recycle view, right guys? So every recycle view has obviously adapters. Okay, so let me go to my package, which is I will be creating it UI. Okay, so in my UI section I will be creating adapters, right? But okay, let me create let me rename this. Okay, I just don't want to make it UI, it's like a adapter. So I want to create adapter for our movie, so it will be a movie adapter, movie adapter, right? So our movie adapter will be consisting of the sections like obviously our movie adapter will be extending recycle view adapter, and we need to pass the respective view holders, right? So obviously the view holders will create here down below a new class. That's a class called view holder. So it will be item view of type view, and we'll have a recycle view holder of type item view, and well image URL. So the image URL that we will be using, okay, let me see if we have any image URL. Movie list, TV list, images. Okay, so we have the so here we have the so this will get all the images, right? So 1 second guys. TV episode, TV seasons, this is a TV series, is list, trending movie, this is a search, this people review, people list, you have movies images. Okay, so what else? Jobs, companies, collection of images, once section ID. So you have go to the guides, right? Contents. Yeah, guys, so yeah, this is how what I was talking about. So we are what I was looking about. So for your images you need to just follow this pattern. So I'm gonna use TP, this pattern, and of this verse, right? So let me just copy, and yeah, I will be just passing the image URL to this one, and now I'm gonna use the respective title text of type text view by lazy. It's a item view movie. Yeah, but guys, like, okay, so let me just not do that for the moment, because obviously I need to create also my first thing is I need to create my my view type, right? Like my item view, okay, for the movie. So okay, let me go to my layout. Okay, let me go to my layout. Okay, let me go to my layout, and I will create a new view of type view of a movie item. Okay, so this movie item, what it will be looking like, it will be just consisting of a simple image view and a text view, right? So so it will be consisting of simple image view and a text view. So I will have a image view, sorry, image view of with the parent. Let's make the size to 50 dp. Okay, what else? So we need to also define the necessary constraint is top of parent, bottom to bottom of to parent, and end to end of parent, obviously start to start of parent. Then we will have a tools resource. Background scenic. Let me just split and see. Okay, this is our situation. Okay, so slowly we'll be building our entire okay, let me just pass my ID here. It's called a movie poster. And then we will also have a text view of match parent and wrap content. Start and okay, so margin horizontal will be like maybe 16 dp. Extract margin 16 dp Okay, and you need to have a ellipse size to end. Also you need to have a gravity to center, right? And what else, right? So you have a maximum lines. The title should be, so this is a movie title, actually it should be only one line, right? So let me add the id as the movie title of ellipse size. Okay, we have already added ellipse size. We have to add the lines, alineous lines to 1. We have text size is 20 sp. So let me also extract this text 20 sp so that we can reuse it. Okay, so what I have done is pretty much extracted the dimension resources here, so that we can reuse it, right? uh, okay guys, so what next? Okay, step by step. Obviously the missing part is the constraints. So the constraints I will and okay, let's do it by top to bottom of obviously the movie poster. Then you need to have our start to start of parent, no, this will be movie poster. Also end to end of movie poster, right? And tools text, added a movie, so it is just looking like that. And gravity is already there. Okay, so we have this simple but we need to just wrap it with the content, and yeah, we have created the necessary movie item, right? So this is okay. So what's next, guys? What's next? So let's go back to our adapter now, right? So inside my adapter, yeah, inside my view holder I had I will create a function that binds a item movie item. Okay, so okay, what else? We have to bind it with the movie. So first thing is I need to also create the respective title text view. Okay, it, okay, similarly I also need another one. We have a title, we also have the image poster, right? That's the image view, poster. And here we will need to update the title with the movie title. And yeah, we also need to update the image view. But as you see, the situation is like it's the image coming from the URL. So to update the image coming from the URL, we will be using simple package application dependency, which is called glide. Okay, so let's go and add glide to our application. Okay. BUMP tech glide 4.12.0. Okay, we have a new version, so let's read the news version. Okay, and let's use this glide to load the image from the server, right? So we have a glide with our image view is our item view image context. So you pass the context, then you load your with your image URL to your movie poster path. Then you have pass your placeholder launcher if there is no fit center into your image view is called poster, right? Okay, so we have created our necessary movie view holder. So I will use this movie view holder, and with this movie view holder now I will be using like implementing the necessary members. We implement all these three classes one by one. First is we on create view holder. We have our view, that is a layout inflator from parent context inflate layout view movie item parent, and address to parent is false, address to root is false, right? And we return this movie view holder passing the view, that is our item view, right? Get item count, we return the movie. So actually we also need to define the list of movies, right? So let me just, because private val movies, then we have a mutable list of the movie objects, then we will just need to return the movies dot size. On bind view holder, we just need to get the instance of a movies the position, and we bind is the view with the item. Now the movie that object, right? Holder item view. So we also actually not only do this, but what if the, so this is the situation, right? So let me just go and okay, this is our adapter. So let me go to my activity now and implement the functionality. I mean, like, update the view. Where is my activity? This is my activity. So what's it's requiring is like we need our instance of our movie adapter, right? So this movie adapter by lazy, we instantiate it to movie adapter object movie yeah, there is no object need to pass, it's an empty constructor, right? So yeah, we have created the instance of movie adapter. So now we need to update the update UI. So this object UI private function will simply does the work of updating. Okay, so we will have a recycle view but let's do it with binding. With binding we will be using the recycle view, movie recycle view, and we will be setting the adapter to our movie adapter, right? And what next? We have our we also now not only need this one, but we also need our movie repository application as a movie application. So we are using actually a manual dependency injection, right? As you can see here, we also need a movie view model, which is instances by view model provider. This object view model model provider fat3, and we have our create return the movie view model. We have a movie repository as this, and then we have to finally return the type of our view model, that is a movie view model class Java. Okay, so then we have our movie view model, popular movies. We need to observe our live data, right? So we'll be having a popular movies. We'll be having a popular movies. So our movie adapter need to add. Okay, so we need to add this movie adapter with the popular movies. So let me go to my adapter. So we need to create another new method here, and which will pretty much add the movies, right? Add movies list of movie. So what it does now here is your movies, you add all the movie list, then you have a define item in range inserted 0 movie list size. Okay, okay, so now let's go to our movie activity, right? And sorry, main activity, and we update the like we add these movies now. So we have our popular movies. Then we need to filter it with the release date, starts with the calendar, get instance, get calendar dot year dot to string. So it's gonna filter in base of the year, and we'll sort by a descending with the popularity, right? And pass it to the adapter. So you have a popular movie sorted by year in a descending order, right? So movie view model, then if there is an error, we observe the error, and just after we observe the error, we will just need to toast, or you can also snack bar, not empty. If the movie is not empty, then we have a snack bar. Make with your recycle view, binding of recycle view, error, snack bar length long, and you show your snack bar if in case you have the error, okay, when you while you make the API calls. Okay, so this is it, guys. So okay, so now we can just launch the application and see if everything is working fine. uh, okay, seems like we have the error, and let's see what's the error. Obviously we have the error because we have our manifest in our manifest. Obviously we have not given the name attribute for our application, right? That was missing. Okay, guys, so yeah, we have the movies, and yeah, it's the list of movies on base of the popularity with the sorted in the descending order with the year. So yeah, these are the cool new movies, and it's working pretty fine, guys, as you can see here. um, and these are all the real live datas, right? I mean, like real datas provided by the API. Okay, so that's the cool thing about this movie. So this is the first part. Okay, now the second part will be, I will be just clicking this movie. When I click any poster of the movie, I will need to get the description of this movie, right? So let's go this second part of the implementation. Okay, so for the second part of opening the movie, we need to obviously have our the adapter need to adapt with the recycle view, right? So we have to obviously go and change add our recycle view, like our listeners here. So let's go and add listeners here. Private well click listeners. So we have our click listeners. For this click listeners, we have to obviously create like our interface. Our it's a movie click listener. Okay, which has a method called on movie click, and we have this item called movie, and your click listener will be a movie click listener. Okay, with this movie click listener, so whenever you click the movie, you have to kind of like observe this listener and navigate to the detail view of the movie, right? So how can we do that? It's pretty simple. You just need to go to your view model, and like not the view model, sorry guys, you need to go to your bind view holder and attach your necessary listener. So let's go to my bind view holder. So we're gonna do is we're gonna holder dot item view set on click listener, and what we have to do is our click listeners, we need to just invoke this method like on movie click and pass the necessary item that we have, item position, like of that position where you are clicking, right? Okay, so this is it. So but this one, now we have to obviously also instantiate from your activity. So our movie adapter will now have a object of a movie adapter movie click listener. So to override movie click listener, this one, so we need to open open our movie details, right? So let's go and open our movie details here. Function open movie details. So here is our movie, and then here we need to open our movie details. Open movie details, pass our movie item. Okay, so obviously we need to now navigate to our another activity. So we have to now create another activity called movie detail or details activity, right? So let me go to my another create a simple empty activity called movie detail activity. Okay, so let me finish it and let me add it. Okay, so our movie detail activity, so let me create the UI for the movie detail activity. Okay, so the UI will be pretty much simple. It will be consisting of the poster, like the text view, descriptions, title and everything. So actually I have already created a sample one, so I will just be copying pasting the UI because it's pretty simple, guys. So margin 16, I would like to write margin 16. Okay, so I will obviously use the data binding here. Okay, so let me so this is my UI. Okay, so let me split and show you guys how my UI will be for the details. Okay, it will be just the simple image, title, the release date and the overview, right? So so this is my movie detail activity. Let me just use create my binding object. Binding is detail binding binding. Let me initialize this to okay, binding to activity and binding, then inflate with my layout inflator. Binding dot root and update the UI. Okay, so this private function update the UI will update everything. Let me write it, not the that's doesn't make sense. Okay, so now let's go to my let's go to our updating the view, right? Updating the UI section. So how can we update the UI section here is obviously now whenever you click this you need to pass the necessary values, right? Like you need to pass your title, you need to pass your release date, like overview, your poster, like the images, URL, everything. So so for that we have to declare the necessary companion objects. The extras that is gonna pass by our main activity is our extra title. We need our title. We need multiple extras like title. We need our release. Yes, release. We need our overview. We need our poster. We need our image URL and many more. Title, we'll need our release, we need our overview, we need our poster, right? We need our image URL. Image URL is obviously gonna be similar with the image URL that I used with my adapter, right, for my main activity. So I'm going to use the same image URL, so it will be similar, okay, the base URL and of the image URL. And so now we just need to just update, right? So it's pretty simple with the binding, and you just need to update it simply. You have our first, let's get the extras. Well, extras equals to intent dot extras. So so we need to just update it, right? So let's go to our first thing is we have our title text will be extras get string extra title or empty, right? So then we have a release text is extras get string extra release or empty, and we have to take 4. Yeah, this take 4 will just give first like returns a string containing the first n character from the string or the entire string if the string is a sorter, right? Okay, so what next? We also need to update our overview text. Okay. So for our overview text, it's pretty it's a little different, because what we're gonna do is we need to let's go to my string and let me put my string, let me declare my string as an overview. Movie overview overview, right? So we have this overview. We'll do the necessary string get string. We format our string, the overview string overview, and we pass the necessary values is our extras get string extra overview and or is empty, right? It's pretty simple. And then finally we have the poster path is extras where we get the string and we have the extra poster or empty. We use the glide obviously to update the image. So with this will the context of the detail activity, you load with the URL that is our image URL, and then you need to also pass the poster path you give the placeholder map launcher fit center into your poster, movie poster image view, right? Okay, so here we have everything pretty much settled down. So the only thing left is obviously passing the extras and starting the activity, the detail activity. So let's pass the intent, let's declare the intent with the extras first. The intent with this detail, movie detail activity class.java, and you need to just apply, put extra the detail your movie detail activity, and your extra is your extra first is the title and your movie title. And similarly you have our okay, we have multiple other things like our extra release date, you have extra overview, which is our overview, you have your extra that is a poster, then that's the poster path. Okay, so that's it guys, and finally you just need to do is your start activity and pass your intent, right? Okay, so fingers crossed, and we can just finish our second section, that is starting our detail activity. Okay, so this is the movie, the popular list of popular movies arranged in the descending, sorted by the descending order. And if you click obviously you see the detail of the movie, the flash overview when his attempt to save it. Okay, so this is the detail of the flash, right? Okay, you can just go come back. Barbie, you know, detail about the Barbie, it was in 2023. And Transformer, Rise of the Beast, 2020, this is the new description of these movies, right? And yeah, you have the list of cool movies, right guys? So yeah, this is a cool application. So it's a simple application, but we will be transforming it into a advanced and cool amazing application. Okay guys, so this is the first part where we did our initial setup using the we added the necessary libraries for coroutines and um, retrofit, glide, you know, and multi more like Android architecture components and many interesting concepts like data binding also, right? So yeah, this was the initial setup and the first API call, getting the popular movies and loading the images, right? And getting the descriptions. Okay, so guys, if you like it, please do subscribe so that it will help me to create more cool videos like this one. And in the second section we'll be modifying it much better, okay, in a good way. So catch you up in the next lecture guys. This will be the continuation of the same application, because I'll be creating a series of lectures modifying this application and creating final product, which will be an entire cool Android application about which gives the list of movie and the description of the movie, right? Thank you guys, catch you up in the next lecture.